Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Schultz, Steelers agree to contract with RB Kenneth Gainwell. The Pittsburgh Steelers have agreed to a one-year contract with RB Kenneth Gainwell, Fox Sports' Jordan Schultz reports. Financial terms aren't currently known. Gainwell spent the past 4 years with the Philadelphia Eagles, taking a third down and backup role in 2024 behind Saquon Barkley. In 2024, he carried the ball 75 times for 290 yards and 1 rushing touchdown while chipping in 16 receptions. He also worked on the kick return unit, averaging a solid 25.3 yards per return on 18 attempts. Kenneth Gainwell did damage against Pittsburgh in their Week 15 win, picking up multiple third-down conversions through the air. He finished the game with 7 rushes for 20 yards but 3 receptions for 40 yards. In 4 years with the Eagles, Gainwell recorded 280 carries for 1,185 yards and 12 rushing touchdowns. He's also caught 102 passes with 1 receiving score. While athletic, Gainwell has struggled to produce big plays. On 382 career touches, his longest gain from scrimmage is only 32 yards. This season, his longest rush on 75 attempts was 20 yards. A 5th-round pick out of Memphis, Pittsburgh showed interest in him pre-draft, the latest in a long line of free agents the team has circled back to. Gainwell put up big numbers in 2019 at Memphis, rushing for nearly 1,500 yards and 16 total touchdowns. Here's our scouting report on him. The Steelers add a space player at running back in an effort to give their offense more explosiveness. He helps offset the loss of RB Najee Harris, signing with the Los Angeles Chargers, though Gainwell's presence alone won't prevent Pittsburgh from adding a running back in next month's draft. RB Jaylen Warren was tendered while running back/kick returner Cordarrelle Patterson remains on roster for now. Gainwell is the second reported free agent to agree to a deal with Pittsburgh, joining former Baltimore Ravens ILB Malik Harrison. CB Darius Slay has reportedly agreed to terms with the Steelers, but other reporters have disputed that, saying the two sides haven't finalized a deal. While everyone waited for quarterback news, the Pittsburgh Steelers quietly agreed to terms with former Philadelphia Eagles RB Kenneth Gainwell Tuesday evening. Gainwell is fresh off a Super Bowl win with the Eagles. But just who is the Steelers' newest running back? Gainwell wasn't the first member of his extended family to make it to the NFL. But he did get the opportunity to play with a cousin in Philadelphia, former Eagles DT Fletcher Cox. Gainwell was asked at his introductory press conference/Zoom call if Cox had reached out to him. Cox hadn't at that point, but Gainwell said, "We're excited about it regarding the opportunity to play together." And when Gainwell sat down with Eagles insider Dave Spadaro for an interview after the draft, he opened up more about his cousin and his status in their hometown. "Fletch is a legend," said Gainwell. "Everybody loved Fletcher Cox. He's the guy when it comes to Yazoo County and Yazoo City. He's the guy. I love my cousin. I love him for giving me all the input I need to know." Gainwell was a dual threat on offense for Yazoo County High School. He started 3 years at quarterback. He passed for 3,682 yards and 32 passing touchdowns, ran for 4,730 yards and 75 rushing touchdowns, and also chipped in 142 kick return yards and a return touchdown. He capped off his high school career by passing for 1,139 yards and 10 touchdowns as a senior while rushing for 1,834 yards and 32 touchdowns. That performance earned Gainwell the Mississippi Association of Coaches Class 3A Player of the Year nod as well as a berth in the 2017 Mississippi/Alabama High School All-Star Classic. He was named co-MVP of that game after rushing for 56 yards and 3 touchdowns. 2024 Steelers exit meetings, ILB Tyler Matakevich. It took a long time, but the Steelers finally reunited with Tyler Matakevich last year. A seventh-round draft pick in 2019, he played out his rookie contract here before signing with the Bills. After a successful 4-year stint there, earning good pay for special teams, he returned on a 1-year deal. Despite a decorated college history, Tyler Matakevich lacks the basic physical makeup to excel at the NFL level. That is precisely why a Bronco Nagurski and Chuck Bednarik Award winner can end up lasting until the 7th round. And last he did, but he still had a successful NFL career. After all, he is still playing after 9 years, so that's something. How many players get to say that they spent nearly a decade in the NFL? And his career isn't necessarily over. Even if the Steelers don't re-sign Tyler Matakevich, he can end up somewhere else. Unfortunately, the reunion didn't exactly go as planned. Matakevich suffered a hamstring injury in Week 2 and missed 6 games. While he logged a lot of special teams snaps once he returned, he didn't appear as effective. He only recorded 4 tackles all year, half of which came before his injury in the second game of the season. And the thing is, Pittsburgh is not short on special teams inside linebackers. They still have Mark Robinson, who played 300-plus snaps there last year. Reportedly, they are signing Malik Harrison, who has the most special teams snaps in the league since 2020. While Harrison could have defensive upside, the Steelers don't need in Matakevich a third linebacker who is primarily a special teamer. And let's face it, Matakevich has 19 defensive snaps over the past 3 years, including 0 with the Steelers. He knows what his role is at this stage of his career, as if that hasn't been clear through the years. The one simple question the Steelers have to ask if they consider re-signing Tyler Matakevich is whether his slowed production after his injury was due to lingering effects or just a drop-off in play. He only managed fewer than 2 full games beforehand, so that's not a significant enough sample size. And Matakevich only registered 13 tackles combined in his final 2 seasons with the Bills. Pittsburgh Steelers get absurd contract price on Aaron Rodgers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in a quarterback limbo that seems likely to end in one of Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson as their next quarterback. However, what would Rodgers cost the Steelers if they wanted to sign him? According to Mike Florio, who made a semi-educated guess on what Rodgers could get, he thinks that Rodgers wants to play 2 years, and 2-year, $90 million deal could be had with Rodgers. That is an absurd projection by every measure. Rodgers would get paid more than Sam Darnold, and more than double what Justin Fields received from the New York Jets. Rodgers threw for 28 touchdowns and 11 interceptions in a banged-up season where he dealt with hamstring and knee injuries throughout the year. That was after coming off a torn Achilles. The Steelers, along with the New York Giants, remain interested in bringing Rodgers into the fold. According to Florio, Rodgers wants to play for the Steelers and they might be his first option, but it is far from done. If the Steelers fail to close on Rodgers, they will almost certainly pivot back to Wilson. And you, fan? What do you think about Aaron Rodgers' situation? Write to us in the comments.